Hi everyone, welcome to Math Wizards 123. I'm just getting set up for another live stream. I can see we already have a few people in the room already. Awesome. Okay, so this live stream we're going to be taking a look at how to find the least common multiple. Let me just see who's in the room so far. Okay, hi guys. All right, we have a few people now. As you're coming into the room, go ahead and feel free to just tell me your first name. You can let me know which period you're in if you like, and just so I know who's in the room before we get started. And then if you have a piece of paper and a pencil or a marker or whatever you like to write with, grab that, and then we're going to solve 3 problems together today. And it happens to be this is the live stream that we're going to choose the winner from last week. So whoever was participating in last week's stream is going to see who the raffle winner is. Okay, Carlos. Hi, Carlos. Hey, we have a runner in the house. Awesome. Hi, guys. And Mrs. Runner, I think, is in the hat. Let me see. No, from Mrs. Runner. Okay, tell me your first name, so I'm trying to figure out if you are in Mrs. Runner's class. Okay, we have somebody from Mr. Coleman's room. That's awesome. And just feel free to let me know what your first name is if you want, if you're comfortable typing that in there. And here is, hi Max. I recognize yours. Hi, Melissa. Wow, we have a lot of people coming in. Okay. And, okay, let's see. There's a couple I'm not recognizing, so just like I said before, if you're comfortable, you can type in your first name, just so that I can see who's with me. Hi, Wendy. Samantha's here. And Jose, hi, Jose. Welcome you guys. So we're going to get started looking at this problem right here. If you want to grab a pencil, and then as we're solving it, just go ahead and type in your ideas as we move along. I'm going to go ahead and just set up our checklist really quickly here with the first 3 prime numbers that we can use to try to divide the numbers inside the ladder. Okay, so I'm just thinking, okay, what if I had 2 Christmas trees or holiday trees, and one tree was blinking every 16 seconds and the next holiday tree was blinking its lights every 48 seconds? How many seconds would it take before both of the trees were blinking at the same time or flashing their lights? Hello, everybody. I see some more people. Omar, hi, Omar. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just look at my prime numbers. If you want to throw out some numbers at me, I'll take some of your ideas as we move along. What do you think we can divide both of these numbers by? I see the number 2 twice. And I see somebody with a 4. Yeah, sometimes we can move a little higher. If it is even and you can divide it by a 2, we could check both numbers to see if they're also divisible by 4, and then we can take care of the dividing faster. I'm going to start out with a 2, just for those of us that are practicing moving through the checklist in order. So 2 times 8 makes 16. If you happen to use a 4, you'll just get there faster. And then what if I divide 48 by 2? Who knows what that is? 48 divided by 2. Gotta go. Okay, Tabitha. Not sure who that was. Bye. The stream is going so fast now. Okay, somebody had to check out, but that's okay. You can join back in when you can. All right, so now we have an 8 and a 24. Now, if I look at these, I can see, yes, they're both even. If we want to go ahead and move to a higher number on this one, we could jump up and divide them by a 4, because that's possible here and here. I saw somebody even wants to go up to an 8. You could go there. I'm going to go ahead with the 4 and take that suggestion. So 4 times 2 here makes 8, and then 4 times 6 over here makes 24. Okay. that makes our next step in the ladder. So I have a 2 and a 6. What should I use next? 2 and a 6. Best friends forever. Thinks 2. Jaden has a 2. And one more 2, so I'm going to go ahead with the 2. Alright, 2 times 1 gives me the 2 here. And then 2 times 3 over here. So now when I'm left with a 1 and a 3, these are both prime numbers. So that means they can only be divided by themselves and a 1. So we can also, some kids like to say 1 and done once you're down to 2 prime numbers. So 1 times 1 gives you the 1 here, and then 1 times 3. So if I was looking for the greatest common factor, I would just use these numbers along the side. But we're trying to figure out if both trees are flashing, this one is every 16 seconds, this one is every 48 seconds, how long is it going to take before they both flash at the same time? So then we need to wrap our L around all the factors along the side, along the bottom, and then we need to multiply everything out. So I'm going to go ahead and just list my numbers down below. 2 times the 4 times the 2 times 1, that'll give me the same number, times 1, and then times the 3 over here. So I'm going to give you a second to see if you can figure out what the least common multiple is. I can start, you can, if you have room or somewhere on your paper, we can, yes, we are doing the raffle at the end once we solve these 3 problems together. Hi, Batul. Okay, I see a 48, so I'm just going to check as I move down here. 2 times 4 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 1 is still 16, and then you have times the 3. So let's see who else agrees with Jaden. What do you think? And then Junior Typical Gamer, give me your first name. That's one I don't recognize right now. I'm trying to figure out who's who. Yeah, GCF is when we would use these numbers over here, Carlos, but we're looking for the least common multiple. So if we're skip counting by 16 and skip counting by the 48, what number are they both going to land on? Okay, yes, the answer is 48. If you take the 3 times the 16 that we figured out, stack it and multiply, you're going to come up with 48. So the least common multiple equals 48. So in 48 seconds, it would take this tree a little while. It would have to go 16 and 16 more, and then they're both going to be flashing exactly at the same time at 48 seconds. Okay, good job, you guys. So I'm going to pull this to another problem. You still have room on your paper. You can flip your paper over. And I have a couple more. This time I'm going to challenge you a little bit, and we're going to look at 2 problems that have 3 different numbers, and let's see how this works if you have 3 numbers that you're trying to find the least common multiple for. So if I was skip counting by 6s, 10s, and 15s, what would be the very first number that all 3 would land on? So that's our least common multiple. You can think about it this way, especially if you're a 6th grader. If you're running the mile and you're practicing that, what if one of your friends was able to run the mile in 6 minutes, and another person was able to do it in 10 minutes, and maybe a third student was able to do it in 15 minutes? How long would it take before all 3 students meet up at the start all exactly at the same time if they were running around the track? So we're going to do the same thing here, except this is a little different when you have 3 numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and just set up my checklist over here, put it wherever you have room, and then we're going to take a look at all 3 numbers and see. I see a lot of 1s. That makes sense to me, because when you look at the 6 and the 10, those can be divided by 2, but the 15 can't. The 15 can only be divided by a 3 and a 5. The 6 can be divided by a 3, but the 10 can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to search instead on this one. Can you find 2 numbers that are in the ladder that we could both divide by the same number? Which 2 numbers do you see in the ladder that we could divide by the same number? I see a 6 and another 6. What other number could I divide with this one. Do two numbers first and then 3, 6 and 15. Good. Those can both be divided by a 3. Good job. Do you see any other numbers that could be divided by the same thing? The 6 and the 10. Good. Since these are next to each other, I'm going to go ahead and start with these, okay? Since this one can't be divided by the same number that I'm going to use, I'm going to circle that for now, okay? So if you want to just grab your pencil and circle that one. So what number can I divide both the 6 and the 10 by? 6 and 10. Check your list over here. What can I divide both of these by? 2? 2? Yeah, we can always divide them by a 1, right? But they're both even, so I'm going to put a 2 over here. And we're going to take care of just these two for now. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times the 5 is 10. And I'm going to go ahead and draw the next step in the ladder. I'm still holding off on this one over here, so we'll come back to that in just a little bit. So I'm looking at the 3 and the 5. Can you divide the 3 and the 5 by the same number? I'm focusing still right here. What can I divide a 3 and a 5 by? I see a no, nope. So I think you're telling me that there isn't any other number that I can divide these by other than, are we one and done? Okay, good. So I'm going to put the 1 here and then go ahead and divide it all the way out. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 5 makes the 5 up here. Or 5 divided by 1 is 5, 3 divided by 1 is 3. Okay, now here's the interesting part. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just draw the next step in the ladder, but let's go like this so it really separates it, okay? We're going to come over to this column over here. So far we have a 2 and we have a 1, right? And now we're going to take a look at the 15. So I'm going to carry the 15 down here. And I want you to think about the number 15. I'm just going to draw one more step right here. Which one of these numbers could I divide the 15 by? Can I divide by 2? Is it even? Should I move to the 3? Or should we go for the highest number? 3. Okay, I see 1 5 there. I see a lot of 3, so I'm going to go for the 3. Okay, 3 times, and I'm going to put it right underneath here. Okay, so 3 times 5 makes the 15, or 15 divided by the 3 equals 5. So now I'm just going to draw another step in the ladder. Okay, I'm going to keep looking here though. So now I have a 5 down here. Is there any number that I can divide the 5 by? So if you go back to your checklist, which one of these numbers could you divide that by? Sure, I could do it by a 1. You can always divide any number by a 1, but I want to check if there's any prime numbers that it could be divided by. So I'm going to go ahead with the 5. So 5 divided by 5 equals a 1. And if we reversed it and you put a 1 and done over here, because this is a prime number, that's fine too. You would just wind up with the 1 over here and the 5 over here. So either way, the answer is going to come out to be the same. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab all the numbers, still making the L shape. Okay, and then we're going to carry those down below and multiply them out to see what we get. So 2 times the 1. Is it raining? Oh, I've been waiting for that. I kept looking out the window to see when is it going to rain. So I saw that in the weather report today. All right, so 2 times 1 times 3 times 5 times the 1. And what do you get? Gotta go. Okay, we'll see you, Vanessa. See you tomorrow. So if I multiply everything out, you can branch it below if you need to do that. 2 times 3 makes 6, and then keep going. 6 times 5, and then multiply times the 1, you get the same answer. Good job, I see 3 30s. All right, so 30 minutes would have to go by before all 3 runners would be together on the track. This is the least common multiple, so you can label it like that too. It's not reading where you are, huh? Alright, I'm gonna have to check out the window and see. So let's try this one real quick, and then I'm gonna pick the raffle winner, guys. This one should be super easy. If you want your checklist, just set that up over here, 2, 3, 5. And let's look at our numbers and see what is a number that, can you find at least 2 numbers that we could divide by the same number? So I see 3, 6, 16. Which 2 numbers could I divide by the same number? It's lagging for you. Okay, just hold on. I can see I'm still okay here. I'm going to keep solving the problem, and then hopefully it'll stop lagging, and then you'll see. Good, so 3 and 6. Those can both be divided by a 3. So 3 times 1 and 3 times 2. Here comes my next step in the ladder. And now we're down to 2 prime numbers. So we can say 1 and done. 1 divided by 1 is 1. 2 divided by 1 is 2. And then this is the, if it helps you to circle it, you can circle this one here. And then what I'm going to do is just pull this down, and I'm going to keep dividing. So now looking at the 16, what could I divide the 16 by? I want to keep going until I have all the prime numbers at the bottom. Gotta go. Okay, we'll see you soon. 16, we can go divided by a 2 since it's even. 2 times 8 is 16. And then this is still even, so I could divide it by 2, or I can jump higher to a 4. 4 times 2. And now that we're down to a prime number here, we can say 1 and done, right? So now the last step is to grab all the numbers and multiply everything out. So 3, I'm going to just pull it down here. 3 times 1 times 2 times 4 times the 1 times the 2. And once you multiply all that out, you'll come up with the least common multiple. So here 3 times 1 makes 3, times 2 is 6, 6 times 4. If you know that, good job, I see the right answer already. 6 times 4 is 24, times 1 is still the same thing, and 24 times 2. Okay, I see 48 twice. So that is your least common multiple. Alright, I know it's a little tricky when there's 3 numbers, but this is one way that you can still solve to find the least common multiple. So I'm going to grab my hat now, guys, and see who the winner is from last week's stream. Got all the names here in the hat. Let me just shuffle them out, and then we'll see who is going to take the gift card home. Now, if I pull your name out, I just need you to send me an email. You can send it to mathwizards123@gmail.com, and then I'm going to send you a link for the gift card, okay? Alright, let's see who it's going to be. And we have Jessica. So Jessica, if you're in the stream right now, or if you watch the stream later tonight, make sure to email me at mathwizards123@gmail.com, and then I'll go ahead and send you a link. Okay? Alright guys, give a wave to all your friends before I sign out, and we'll see you again next week. Same time. We're going to try it at 7 o'clock again and see how that works for everybody, okay? Alright, good job you guys. Alright, go ahead and wave to your friends. We'll see you the next time at Math Wizards. Hit the like button if you had fun. Bye guys.